Webinar on legal aspects of foster care was created as part of the project Academy of a Conscious Parent. A substitute parent urgently needed, co-financed by the European Union. We'll discuss issues concerning the functioning and legal basis of foster care organizations in 3 partner countries implementing the project, that is Portugal, Poland and Lithuania. The webinar is in fact an attempt to answer key questions regarding important and at the same time difficult legal issues. What are the forms of foster family care? In Lithuania, regular foster care, professional foster care, family-based foster care facility and community-based children care home. In Poland, related, ascendants and siblings, non-professional, professional including family, emergency and related family, and family orphanage. In Portugal, there is only one form of foster care that involves individual people or families non-related to the child that care for the children and youth in the welfare system. How long can I be a foster family for a child? In Lithuania, in case of short-term foster care, can be established up to 12 months with the possibility of extending it for an additional 6 months and is established by an order of the municipality's administration director. Permanent, long-term, foster care is established for a child who is not under parental care and cannot return to his or her biological family for an indefinite period. In Poland, foster care lasts until the child reaches the age of majority, in the case of continuing education until the child is 25 years old. In Portugal, children and youth can be fostered from 0 to 18 years old, in some situations until they are fully autonomous or over 21 years old. Foster care of a child under the age of 6. Which documents prove that we are a foster family? In Lithuania, order of the Director of Municipality Administration on the establishment of temporary custody or a court order on the establishment of permanent custody. In Poland, this is decision of the District Court of the Family and Juvenile Division with jurisdiction over the place of residence. In Portugal, this is certificate of competence of a family member as a foster family and entry into the database of foster families. Where do I go if I want to become a foster family? In Lithuania, people who want to apply for foster family status should go to State Child Rights Protection and Adoption Service. In Poland, this family should go to Municipal Social Assistance Center or District Family Assistance Center competent for the place of residence of the candidates. In Portugal, people who want to apply for foster family status should contact the Social Security Institute through email or go to the services in the residential area to manifest their interest. Then, the technical team will contact the person or family to schedule the first session with them. Is there a specific type of foster family that takes care of children with disabilities? In all 3 countries, a child with a disability certificate may be placed in any form of family foster care, with the consent of the family. What are the legal requirements for being a foster family? In Lithuania, regular foster care, permanently residing in the territory of the Republic of Lithuania, minimum age 21 and maximum age 65, is not related to the child, has proper conditions to take care for a child and ensure safe environment, is not founded by a court as incapacitated or a limited capacity in relation to the foster care, from whom the child is or was not separated, to whom parental authority is not or has not been restricted, has no crime record, has no mental or behavioral issues, family-based care facilities, has at least 3 years of experience of child's foster care, has at least 3 years of experience of working with children left without parental care, children with special educational needs, children with disabilities and or families at social risks, has a university degree or equivalent and at least 1 year's experience in direct work with children in the fields of social work, social pedagogy, special pedagogy, psychological assistance, preschool education. Professional foster care. It's the same as of regular foster care, has no history of termination of the cooperation and service agreement between him or her and foster care center due to improper performance of the contract or duties. In Poland, persons acting as foster parents must guarantee proper foster care, not be deprived of parental authority, and parental authority may not be limited or suspended, fulfill the maintenance obligation, not be limited in legal capacity, be able to take proper care of the child, which is confirmed by a medical certificate about the health condition issued, and an opinion about having predisposition and motivation to perform the function of a foster family. Stay on the territory of the Republic of Poland. However, in the case of foreigners, their stay is legal. Provide adequate living and housing conditions, enabling the child to meet the individual needs. In Portugal, they must have at least 25 years old, have physical and psychological health to foster children or youth, have an adequate home with health, hygiene and safety conditions, not being a candidate for adoption while applying for foster care. No family member can be indicted, accused or condemned by crimes against life, physical integrity, personal freedom or sexual self-determination and freedom. Can a single person be a foster family? In all three countries, yes, a foster family can be composed by only one single person. Can I become a foster family when I live in a rented apartment? In all three countries, yes. The only requirement needed regarding housing conditions is to have an adequate home with health, hygiene and safety conditions. Can a foreigner become a foster family? In Lithuania, yes, if he or she is permanently residing in the territory of Republic of Lithuania. In Poland also, yes, if he or she has a permanent place of residence in the territory of the Republic of Poland on the basis of a long-term residence permit for an EU resident or obtained refugee status or subsidiary protection in the Republic of Poland. Yes, in Portugal, if he or she resides permanently in Portugal and has a viable legal status, which includes having a certificate of residence, social security, financial and ID number. Where should I go to attend training for foster families? In Lithuania, people who want to undergo training must find an institution that is accredited by the Ministry of Social Welfare and Labour to conduct specialized training. In Lithuania, the program is called Training and Vocational Guidance. In Poland, persons wishing to undergo training for foster families should take the following steps. 1. The first step to qualify for training for foster families is to submit an application to the Social Welfare Center or the County Family Assistance Center, an institution that performs the function of the foster care organizer in a given city, to train them for a foster family. Second, at the request of a party, the center shall initiate the qualification procedure consisting of A. Conducting a visit to the environment from which a social and living opinion is drawn up. B. Conducting a psychological examination ending with a psychological opinion. C. Collecting the required documentation. Certificate from the National Criminal Register. Medical certificate. 3. In the third stage, the team of employees, on the basis of the collected documentation, analyzes the candidate's situation and issues written information about qualifying or not qualifying for training for foster families. 4. After qualifying, the foster care organizer indicates the center responsible for training the candidates. In Portugal, families who want to apply as foster families should contact the Social Security Institute through email or go to the services in the residential area to manifest their interest. Then, the technical team will contact the person or family to schedule the first session with them. The first step is an informative session which is scheduled before the formalization of the application and within 30 days of the manifestation of interest in becoming a foster family. The second step is the foster family candidate's assessment itself, which comprises an informative interview, a psychosocial assessment, and a home visit. After all these procedures, there is the acceptance or rejection of the candidates. The first step is the initial training of the family, which is followed by continuous training throughout the foster care. Where can I get the psychological assessment required to be a candidate for a foster family? In Lithuania, the assessment of a guardian is performed by the specialists of the care center, whose team also includes a psychologist who can also perform a psychological assessment if necessary. In Poland, most social welfare centers have a psychologist who draws up reports in accordance with the Act on Supporting the Family and the System of Foster Care. This assessment can also be made by a private psychologist, if he or she does this kind of assessment. In Portugal, one of the phases integrated in the process of becoming a foster family is the psychological assessment of the family members, which is conducted 10 days after the acceptance of the application. This includes an evaluation of physical, psychological, and household conditions through interviews, home visits, and other evaluation instruments. How much financial assistance am I entitled to for being a foster family? In Lithuania, it is €160 state budget child allowance, €160 state budget foster parent allowance, care allowance paid by municipality, €70 plus 41.20 cents more than 3 children or disability. In Poland, foster family related to 694 Polish zlotys per month, professional, non-professional foster family and family orphanage 1,052 Polish zlotys per month. For each form of family, an allowance from the tutor in the amount of 500 Polish zlotys per month. For each form of the family, an addition with the title increased maintenance costs of a child with a certificate of disability or moderate or severe disability in the amount of 211 Polish zlotys per month. In Portugal, financial aid to support costs related to the fostering of the child, €605.56 for children up to 6 years old, €526.57 for older children, €684.55 higher for children up to 6 years old with disabilities, and financial benefits such as deductions in taxes. For what random events can I get financial support? In Lithuania, a carer, like any other national, can receive the social benefits to which he or she is entitled, depending on the family situation. In this case, the need is assessed and a decision is made to pay for medical services, compensation for heating, production of an identity document, summer holiday camp. In Poland, the decision is made on a discretionary basis by the organizer of the family foster care. In Portugal, these events must be discussed and analyzed by the team managing the foster care of that child. After taking in a small child, am I entitled to maternity leave? In Lithuania, yes. Foster father or foster mother has the same leave as having a biological child. Maternity leave, 24 months paid by government, 12 months no payment. In Poland also yes. Maternity leave is granted until the child is 7 years old, for the first year from the date and the child is placed in foster care. In Portugal, yes. When fostering a child up to 1 year old, the foster family members, men and women, are entitled to paid parental leave. What types of support am I entitled to as a foster family? In all 3 countries, each type of support is offered at the request of the foster family, such as coordinator, pedagogue, psychologist. Am I entitled to annual leave to work as a foster family? In Lithuania, foster family has a time off from work the same like other families. 1 day off from work per month if they have 2 or more children till 12 years old, 1 day off from work per month if they have 1 disabled child till 18 years old. In Poland, yes. In the case of performing the function of a professional foster family and a family children's home for 30 calendar days for a period of 12 months. During this period, children stay in support foster family. In Portugal, foster families don't take time off from fostering a child. The child is always included in any plans that the foster family has. However, foster families are entitled to take breaks between foster care, placements, and not foster a child right after the foster care of the previous one is terminated. Can I go abroad with the child I'm fostering? In Lithuania, you are allowed to. If you are going on holiday, you do not need to notify, but if you are moving, you must notify the Child Rights Protection Service. In Poland, if the trip concerns vacation leave, then yes. If the family leaves with the intention of permanently residing outside the country, the decision in this case is made each time by the family court competent for the place of residence. In Portugal, if the trip is associated with a vacation and the child has a verified legal situation, you can go abroad with the child. If it is associated with leaving the country with the child to permanently reside abroad, the family need to hold the legal parental responsibilities in the order to take the child to the new residence. Also, the institution and team managing the foster care needs to be informed and approve these and other alternations. What to do if a child placed in a foster family does not have a passport and I want to go abroad on holiday? In Lithuania, the child's legal representative, guardian, care center, has the right to apply for a passport. In Poland, if the biological parents do not consent to the issue of a passport, an application may be submitted to the family court for permission to issue a passport to child. In Portugal, questions associated with the legal identification documents of the child are discussed with the team that manages the individual foster care process. As a foster family, do I have to look after every child who needs protection? In Lithuania, no. After the training, a foster family gets a conclusion indicating which child he can care for. The family is entered in the general list of guardians. If there is a family whose profile is adequate to the child's needs, they are selected and contacted to ask about the availability to foster the child. In Poland, no. The foster family has the right to make a decision. The organizer of family foster care asks candidates for a foster family whether they consent to the adoption of a child. Each time, the current situation of the family and their readiness to act as foster parents are taken into account. In Portugal, no. When there is a child in need of alternative care, the families in the foster family database are analyzed. If there is a family whose profile is adequate to the child's needs, they are selected and contacted to ask about the availability to foster the child. As a foster family, am I obliged to stay in touch with the biological family of the child? In all three countries, yes. One of the main responsibilities of a foster family is to keep the child in contact with parents and other close family members. Contacts may only be suspended if the court decides otherwise. What are the obligations of foster families? In Lithuania, the child's guardian is required by the civil code to ensure the physical and mental safety of the child, to take care of the child's health and learning, to bring up a child, to cooperate with the municipal administration, the care center, the state institution for the protection of the rights of the child, and other interested state and municipal institutions in resolving issues related to the interest of the child, not to interfere with child's communication with the parents, if this does not harm the child's interest, to maintain contacts with the child's parents, to inform the child's parents or close relatives, if they wish so, about the child's development, health, education and other important issues, to take care of the child's leisure time, taking into account his or her age, health, development and inclinations, to prepare the child for independent living and work in the family, civil society and the state. In the cases and according to the procedure established by law, the guardian of a child may transfer custody of a child to another person. In Poland, the obligations of a foster family include treating a child in a way that fosters a sense of dignity and personal worth, ensuring access to the health services due, providing education and compensating for developmental and school deficiencies, ensuring the development of talents and interests, satisfying the emotional, living, developmental, social and religious needs of a child, ensuring protection against arbitrary and unlawful interference in the private life of a child, enabling contact with parents and other relatives unless the court decides otherwise, cooperation with the coordinator of foster care, adoption center, and organizer of family foster care. In Portugal, the foster family's obligations include exercising obligations and responsibilities associated with everyday care of the child and established by the promotion and protection measure and subsequent agreement, guide and educate the child with care and affection, promote the necessary conditions to strengthen the child relation to the biological family, provide access to up-to-date information about the child's development to the biological family and the foster care management institution, inform the foster care management institution about alterations in the family and life conditions that may affect the foster care, for instance, changes in the composition of the family household, inform the foster care management institution regarding residence, alternation, vacation periods and locations, ensure confidentiality of information about the personal and family records of the child, participate in the training promoted by the foster care management institution, cooperate with the foster care management institution regarding the monitorization and evaluation of the fostering process, not fostering children or youth continuously that aren't identified or involved in the foster care contract, renovate annually the documents that testify to health status and criminal records of all the members of the foster family, provide adequate health care for the child, guarantee that the child attends a school suited for their age and development conditions, communicate immediately to the foster care management institution any procedure needed for the child that implies urgent and specialized therapeutic intervention. Are foster families monitored? In Lithuania, the social families are monitored by the municipality Child Rights Protection Service and Social Services Department under the Ministry of Social Security and Labour. In Poland, both foster parents and those running a family orphanage should be assessed by the organizer. In Portugal, the families are monitored throughout the foster care process by the technical team responsible for the foster child. Also, continuous training takes place and families attend training sessions at least once a year. Does the foster family participate in allocating children? In Lithuania, the person of family can suggest a specific child or children in the application. After receiving the positive conclusion, they become foster parent or family. In Poland, foster parents can suggest what children they would like to take in, especially their age and gender. Very often, the request results from the housing conditions. For example, if two girls already live with them and there is still room for two more children in the same room, the foster care organizer is unlikely to send boys there. In Portugal, no. All the foster families are listed in a foster family database and are selected in the profile is adequate to the child's needs. Can a foster family register a child with the employer for health insurance? In Lithuania, yes. The guardian is the legal representative and takes care of the child's health care. Every child living in Lithuania is covered by compulsory health insurance from the state budget. In Poland, yes. If the child does not have his own health insurance, for example in the form of a survivor's pension, the foster parent should register the child for health insurance. In Portugal, health care of the child is provided by Social Security. Am I a legal guardian as a foster parent? In Lithuania, in case of regular foster care, legal representative; in case of professional foster care, not a legal representative; in case of family-based foster care and community-based children care home, legal representative. In Poland, legal guardianship over a child is established by the guardianship court in the event that biological parents are deprived of parental authority. At the same time, the court may appoint a foster parent to be a legal guardian. In Portugal, the foster family takes over parental responsibilities when raising a child. However, in the eyes of the law, he is not a legal guardian. What is the difference between an adoptive family and a foster family? In all three countries, the adoptive family differs significantly from the foster family. Adoption is a lifelong decision. Adoptive parents are legally no different from biological parents, because adoption gives them the same rights and obligations as the natural parents of a child. The foster family is only a temporary form of help for the child and his family. Foster parents, exercising direct and personal custody of a child, are obliged to consult the natural family of more important decisions concerning the child. They are also obliged to enable the child to contact his natural family, unless the court decides otherwise. As a biological parent, do I have to pay for the child's foster care? In Lithuania, the child's parents, whose authority is restricted by a court decision, are determined to pay for the maintenance of a child during the month before the child reaches the age of majority. In the case of temporary custody, the parents do not pay for the maintenance of the child. In Poland, yes, biological parents are charged a monthly fee for the child's stay in foster care. After the relevant decision is issued, the parent has the right to apply for a partial or total exemption from payment. In Portugal, no, the biological family doesn't have any expenses associated with the fostering process. How often can the biological parents meet the child? In Lithuania, even parents who have no parental authority have the right to contact the children, especially in a case of short-term foster care. How much time do I have to improve my life situation in order to regain parental responsibility? In Lithuania, temporary custody lasts up to 12 months. In exceptional cases, it can be extended to 18 months if the situation improves. When the situation improves, custody is revoked and the child is returned to the parents. If the parents have their parental authority restricted by a court order, they have the right to apply to the court for the lifting of the restriction by providing evidence to that effect. In Poland, time to improve your situation in order to regain parental authority is not defined by law. However, it should be pointed out that after 18 months have elapsed, the organizer of family foster care applies for the regulation of the child's legal situation. In the event of deprivation of power, the child is reported to the adoption center. In Portugal, the re-establishment of parental legal responsibilities is associated with the improvement of the conditions that led to the decision that foster care was the most adequate option for the child, and not necessarily with the time biological parents have to improve those conditions. Nevertheless, the biological family always benefits from support from the team that accompanies the promotion and protection process of the child. What kind of support can I count on as a biological parent? In Lithuania, a case manager is appointed for the child's biological family to coordinate the process of providing assistance. The team consists of a social worker, an assistant employee, a psychologist, and addiction specialists, and others who can help solve problems. In Poland, social assistance, help of a family assistant, current family support. In Portugal, psychological, educational, and parental education, social support, economic assistance when necessary. Thus, biological parents have the right to go to school and ask about the child's academic performance. In Lithuania, yes, when temporary custody is established, the parents have the right to take an interest in the child's upbringing, but cannot make decisions. In Poland, if he has only a limitation of parental responsibility, he has the right to contact the school and ask about the child's grades. In Portugal, the foster families are the education guardians of the child, while the child is in foster care. So although the biological family has the right to make inquiries about the child's development, education and health, they should ask the foster family or the team that coordinates the foster process of the child about these questions. Do foster parents have the same rights as biological parents? In Lithuania, yes. In Poland, placing a child in a foster family is most often a form of limiting the parental authority of the biological parents. The duty and the right to take care of a child placed in a foster family, raise it and represent it in the claim for alimony belong to the foster family. The foster family is responsible for any damage caused by the child under their care. Other obligations resulting from parental authority belong to the child's parents. For example, the choice of school of the minor, the method of treatment, or going abroad. The division of rights and obligations between the biological family and the foster family may be changed on the basis of a guardianship court decision in a situation where it is required by the child's best interest. In situations where a child has been placed in a foster family on the basis of a decision depriving the parents of parental authority, the court appoints a legal guardian for the child. Most often, it is foster parents who combine actual and legal custody. The parents of a child whose parental authority has been limited or deprived by the court have the right to have personal contact with the child, unless the court limits or prohibits these contacts. In Portugal, no, since biological parents have rights regarding parental legal responsibility and foster care. In Portugal is considered an alternative out-of-home care, so foster families have rights as caregivers and not the same as birth biological parents. Only in situations that the court mandates that the legal parental responsibilities are rendered to the foster family can they benefit from similar rights, although there are some exceptions.